What's up? This is Johnny Three Tears, and I am in Hollywood Undead, and you are listening to Rhino Radio.
Okay, that was just response, but cool. Okay. Just need to sync the audio, but that's it. If you want to add some artistic.
Yeah. Oh, here.
Cool. So we got some sweets as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got Johnny Three Tears
Yeah.
from Hollywood Undead. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
Okay, you're adjusting to the lovely weather we have out here.
Yeah, slowly but surely.
Loving it.
Oh, I love it, dude.
Yeah.
Nothing like a cold, dreary British day.
Well, it was raining, I think, when you started in Glasgow.
Today,
Snowing as well?
today is nice.
Yeah, today's
Glasgow was real rough. Yesterday, Manchester was pretty bad. Today is nice.
Okay, so we spoke enough about the weather. I mean, you are in the UK, so we got to talk about the weather.
I know.
But let's skip to the
Yeah, let's-
interesting things.
Okay.
Okay, so I was wondering, I was watching some videos, I've listened to the music, I read some stuff, and the band seems a bit chaotic, like on the fun side. I was wondering, how is it to actually produce with you guys? When you go into the studio, I heard that in the past you had some guns being pointed at each other. So can you actually just be serious and record?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, we're down to business. I don't know where all this stuff comes from. We like to have fun and we like to keep it fun. Otherwise, you're gonna probably make crappy songs. If it's just so. No, we have fun, but we work hard, and
Okay.
there's no doubt about it. We don't just accidentally do what we do. Like we know what we need to do and we get it done. But we keep it so that I'll tell you this: if you're not having fun, you're not gonna last. You're not gonna be in a band very long.
Okay.
So we've been around for 12 years now, and the reason we're around for 12 years is because we have a good time.
Okay, and I know that you have your own label. You produce yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on one hand you control everything. On the other hand, don't you want somebody else as an outsider's critic, just to know where you're at?
Honestly, we're the hardest people to please I know of. Like, by the time anybody else hears the songs, we've probably combed over them more times than I can count. So we're pretty critical. And then, there's guys that I trust that I show the music to, but I don't like showing people at management or labels their motives are always, you don't know what their motives are. So you can't trust them. And a lot of them, like especially A&R guys at label, will tell, change this just so they feel like they did their job. So a lot of it's arbitrary information, or you have no idea like what do they want out of this whole thing. So we have like a core group of people that we show our music to, typically other guys in bands. And then we're pretty hypercritical, so we do that pretty well ourselves.
Okay, I know that many bands go down the indie route recently. So what's the difference between going indie and going your own label?
Well, I mean, basically, when you do your own, all the risk is yours. So, it costs a lot of money to make a record, promote a record, distribute a record, all those things. So if the record does well, you're good. If it doesn't, you're fucked. In those they're fucked. So a label normally would take on that risk, and that's why they make money. Is that, hey, we're going to give you the money, we're going to take all the risk. If you don't make it back, it's on us. But if you do make money after, they get the lion's share of the profit. So it's the risk that you have to take if you want to be, doing your own stuff. I think there's a lot of bands that have had success on major labels, on indie labels, all those things, that are happy with that situation. We unfortunately have run into some really rough situations. Some guys, they'll re-sign right when they're done with their contract. We had a really rough situation with every label we've been at.
Want to go indie with crowd funding?
I don't see the point.
Is it not safer because you have the money before you even start?
Well, we have the money before we started anyway.
Yeah, but you're risking it supposedly.
Well, yeah, you're risking it, but you also keep it all if you make any money.
Okay.
So it's betting on yourself. Are you willing to place a bet that your record's going to do well? In this environment, in the climate now, that's very risky, because especially an American audience, they're very fickle. Someone's the biggest name in music one day, and then his next single isn't as big, and he's gone. That's it. That's the end of his career. So we have a big enough base where we've been doing it long enough, and we've never been a huge band, so we don't run that risk really. So it's kind of like it's betting on yourself, and we figured, hey, why not give it a shot?
Okay, and do you feel like you're bigger outside of the U.S. than you are in the U.S., or vice versa?
Probably equal. I would say say it's pretty equal. But we've never been like a massive band, so that's everybody wants to be in a huge band.
Yeah.
There are some qualities to not being in a huge band, like the fact that we could take risks like that, and there's not as much pressure. If you got a guy like let's say Post Malone, who had this massive singles on his next record, if his singles aren't as massive, that's it.
Yeah.
I think he will. I love Post Malone. I think he's a really talented dude, but that's just an example where we don't have that pressure on us. If we don't have a number one at pop, who cares? We've never had a number one at pop. It doesn't matter. But then if you had a number one at pop, you're probably rolling in a Lambo, which would be nice. I wouldn't get a Lambo, but you know what I mean.
Okay.
I'd have a sack of Coke this big right now.
We're talking about...
This wouldn't be
drink.
filled with candy.
The drink.
Yeah,
Drink
Coca-Cola.
Coke. Yeah. Thanks for clarifying.
Pure Colombian Coca-Cola.
Yes, the best. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna go a bit less serious for you. Okay, I know that you guys have, I think, 2 covers on the set list. You have, is it Folsom Prison?
Yeah, well, we switch it out. We just play random shit.
Okay, so but you do have that every now and then. What's the motive behind covering a song?
I think we did it one night as a joke, just for the hell of I think we were having technical problems.
Okay.
So we had the instruments, and there was something wrong with the drum mics or something like that, and we started playing Folsom Prison. Because we were like, the audience is sitting there, so we played it and they loved it. We're like, hey, let's do that again. So we started doing it, and then it's kind of evolved where we just pick a random song. Last night we played "Sweet Child of Mine" by Guns N' Roses. It's just a fun break, and our kind of thing. When we play a show, we really want people to have fun, even whether it's depressing. It's still fun. Like it's about a good time, and I think it just adds to the good time.
So it's more respecting the song or criticizing it?
Respect, respect.
Okay.
I would never criticize it. Even if I didn't like a song, I would never tell anybody, because I don't believe that my opinion's that important, because it matters to that person and it matters to other people. It really is. I hate people like, oh, this band sucks or this song sucks, because it's so objective. That's just you. There's a lot of musicians I don't like, but I would never go around saying I don't like them. Why? Because I don't know any better than them. That's just what you know what I mean? I don't like mayonnaise. Some other dude might eat the shit out of it. I don't go, mayonnaise is gross. I go, oh, that guy likes mayonnaise. I don't. That's okay. Right?
Yeah, I like how everything just reminds you of something else. So I like how your mind just drifts.
I got mayo on the brain, bro. Mayo and Coca-Cola Classic.
Okay, the best.
The finest South American Coke Classic.
Yeah, you should start your own kind of food business. Just Coke and mayo.
I already sell Coke.
Okay. Again, the drink.
Okay.
The drink. So just because you mentioned the listener's opinion, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You've mentioned in the past, I don't remember if it was you or just the band in general, thinking about the flow of the album. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, many listeners only listen to either singles or with Spotify that gives you a lot of control to listener. Sometimes you're going to release an album and you're going to just try and find every single flow between the tracks, and they're only going to listen to 3.
Right.
So is that what you're still thinking of, or
no?
do you consider it as the future?
That's hard to gauge. I love Spotify personally, because I can go, oh, I want to hear this Allman Brothers song, or Jimi Hendrix. So you can go way in the past, and now my car doesn't even have a CD player. They don't even put them in the car anymore. So I love Spotify for that purpose. For us, when I buy a record or a record comes out, I'll listen to it straight through. But I understand that people don't do that. But I do. So I want our record, I take it from the perspective that someone might, and I want it to be the right experience, in my opinion. But I'm also well aware that 80% of people have probably never heard the last song on our album.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, what it is. But for the fans who listen to it straight through, I want it to be the experience that I would want.
Okay, and another sort of fan pleaser, you guys mentioned that it's not worth your while to make videos anymore because of MTV changing, but yeah,
no.
5 for the last one.
No, it's not financially feasible. So it's hard to make videos, because in the past, I remember when we did videos on our first site, with the budget for videos, $500,000, $250,000, $500,000. Now it's $10,000 to $20,000. The reason for that is so the labels would spend money on videos because they would be compensated, because people would see those videos on MTV and go buy the record.
Yeah,
it had a huge impact on sales. Once those things don't exist, why would the label then invest in videos? Because it's just going to go to YouTube and to their listeners. So it's much more difficult to make videos. I still enjoy making videos, but it's hard to make videos because you have to get funding. And why would a label do that if they're not going to get any return on it. So videos are just tougher to make. It's not that I don't like making them. It's very hard to make a quality video because there's no budget. And then the only avenue for them is YouTube now, which you don't get compensated for, or the label, more importantly, doesn't get compensated for, so they don't want to put the money there. Okay. So we're just hustling. We make them for free if we can. I love making videos. I think videos are a great companion piece to songs. Some of them suck that we've made. Some of them are good. So sometimes it works against us. But in the end, I think it's a great avenue for people to have a picture or a painting to the picture, however you want to put it. Okay.
And I know that in the past, you've mentioned as well that the production is a bit different than performing live, because you guys switch instruments. Sometimes one of you sings more, some of you sings less. But is there a song that you would never be able to play live because everything just got too complicated on the production side?
No, we could play them all live technically. It would take some work, and we'd have to do some things, figuring things out. Like, we've written songs where I'm like, we're not playing that live just because the complications. We could do it, but I don't want to go through all that, bro.
Okay. So I'm going to wrap up with, again, the rumor online, or the perception of you guys online being less than PC, let's say. We've mentioned a drink that's not really a drink over the last few minutes.
No, that was a drink. That's your mind or your mind.
Yes. But you've mentioned sexuality. I think some people commented about everywhere you go, that is not the most respectable.
No,
song.
I mean, yeah. It's meant in a pun, way. The thing, I understand PC culture. I think a lot of it gets a little ridiculous myself, because it's a bunch of people walking around pretending they don't think things. So it's like, okay, if that's how you want to do it. If something's derogatory and hurtful, then I get it. But when we say stuff like that, it's not literal. And if you can't have a sense of humor about yourself, okay, I may not be able to have a sense of humor about someone else, but I can still at least have a sense of humor about myself. So it's certainly never meant to hurt anybody's feelings and stuff. And I think people get their feelings hurt easily these days. That's just the way it is. So you have to be more careful. But I would never want to hurt someone personally. I hate even the idea of hurting another individual. But people need to lighten up too, in my opinion.
Okay, so between that lighten up, but also everyone trying to respect everyone right now.
You don't want to cause anybody pain. If I knew something actually was causing someone emotional distress, I'd feel responsible. Like, look. But I think there's also a level where the listener or someone needs to be responsible and go, okay, this isn't, everybody needs to get a little more sense of humor about things. And also, there really are people out there to hurt each other, and that's not cool either. But that's not us, And we've said some things in the past that now I go, I shouldn't have said that, because I didn't realize that it would have that effect. So you have to be careful. One side needs to lighten up a little. The other side, if you really are out to hurt some people, then I hope justice comes your way. I don't think it's right to walk around hurting other people in any capacity. So it's the world we live in, man. A lot of conflicting viewpoints.
Yeah. So on the lighter side, you guys are touring with the 100.
Yeah.
They do like covers. They do like kind of the same music as you, rough and kind of electronic, sometimes rap as well. Any chance of collaboration on some new material on your side or their side?
No.
No, that's it? Just ended it?
Well, I don't even know. No. I mean, there's a lot of, no offense towards them, but if I'm going to collaborate with somebody, it's going to be like someone we've never really done that. And the only reason I would do it is because it's someone I grew up on, like I want to work with, or somebody that I looked at and went, I want to know what they do. Outside of that, I would have no purpose. No offense towards them. They're a good band. They're nice kids, but...
Okay. 5 was released in October?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to mention to fans and listeners out there?
Sharing, I want to send some appreciation to everybody's way. We're very grateful, and I know that's cliche. Don't do too much Coca-Cola. It's okay to think certain things are funny, but don't offend each other. If you're hurting someone's feelings, that's not right either. But if talking about showing your dick offends someone, they probably need to lighten up too. But don't say it to children or women, because I can understand how that could be offensive for a woman, and I would never do that in a woman's presence. Just to my friends, I'll show them my dick once in a while. But we do that to each other. It's kind of a funny thing. But I would never do that to a stranger or a woman or someone who found that offensive. So don't do that to strangers. And don't do too much Coca-Cola.
Okay, Johnny, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay.